Today on The Joy of Editing, we're going to take a look at Firefly Image 3, now in Photoshop Beta. It's pretty cool. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, and welcome to The Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly. Today we're going to get a look at Firefly Image 3, now in Photoshop Beta. Hopefully soon it will come to Photoshop. It's really cool. There's some really great new features here. I think you're really going to like it. So let's take a look at it. If you have Photoshop and you don't yet have Photoshop Beta, what you can do is click on your Creative Cloud icon. And then what you need to do is go to Apps and click on Beta. And you'll find Photoshop Beta here. Mine says open because it's already installed. But if you don't have it, there'll be an install button here. Just click it and you can install Photoshop Beta. And you can always remove it anytime that you want. One of the new features is they make it really easy for you to generate images right here inside of Photoshop Beta. Let me show you. I'm starting out with a blank canvas. Now this canvas size is 2304 by 1792. I made my image this size because this is the size that you get when you download an image from the Adobe Firefly website. Now make sure you have your contextual taskbar opened up, and if you don't, you can come up here to Window and you're going to find it right here. Just click on it, check it on, make sure you have it. And what I like to do is click the ellipse here and click pin bar position. That way, wherever you move this taskbar, it'll stay where you put it. So I'm going to put it right here. But you'll note we have something new here. We can import an image or we can generate an image. And this is new. We can generate an image very easily right here inside of Photoshop Beta. And this is very similar to what you would get if you were on the website. Now you could generate from here, or else you could come up to Edit and you're going to see Generate Image here. You could click that, or you could come to the bottom of the toolbar and click this button here to generate an image. So there's three different ways. I'm just going to use the taskbar today. I got a lot of cool new stuff to show you, but we're going to start out here by generating an image. I'll click Generate Image, and this is new. This looks like what you see at the Firefly website. And of course, we can go ahead and type in a prompt. And here is my prompt. Modern kitchen with a table. Now you could choose art or photo, and I believe if you don't choose either, it'll make that decision for you. So I'm going to click on photo because I want to make a photo. And you'll note we have reference image and effects. I'll get to that in a little bit. But now let's click generate and see what we get. Takes around 10 seconds to generate, so I'm going to pause the video. I'm not going to make you wait. Now, here's what I got. Now, you always get back 3 results. This is my first result, and on my taskbar, if I click the forward button, I could go to the second result. That's kind of interesting. The ceiling looks a little weird, but not bad. And let me click again. This is my third result. Now, I think I like this the best. Now, you could click Generate again and generate some more images. But I think I'm going to go with this one. And by the way, I believe that Firefly has bumped up their resolution to like 2048 by 2048 for like a square image. I think it used to be 1024 by 1024. Now, let me show you a new cool feature. Let's say, you see these flowers right here. Let's say we want to change this to a different flower arrangement and vase. So what I can do is grab my marquee tool and I'll make a selection, something just like that. Now, this is new. If I click on Generative Fill, and you'll notice, see right here, this icon, if you click on it, this is for a reference image. So I can use a reference image to help Firefly know what kind of a result I would like to get. So I'll click Choose Image. So I have this image of a vase of flowers. I believe they're tulips, yellow tulips, that I got from Adobe stock. So I'm going to click on this button right here and click Open. And then you'll note I have this blue check letting me know that I'm using a reference image. Now, if you want to, you could type a text in here, but I don't think I really have to because I think that reference image will speak for itself. So I'll click Generate and see what we get. And here's my first result, and it looks really good. And now let me click the forward button. Here's the second result. I like that too. And here is the third. Boy, I like them all. Do I like the second one the best? I think I'm going to go with the second one. And now let me show you another new feature. Once you pick one of these out that you like, you could click this button right here and you could generate similar. So if you click it, this is new, it'll generate 3 more images. And now we have 3 more results. And it's based on this image right here because when I clicked on this and clicked Generate Similar, it was going to make similar images to this one. So here's the first one. Let me click the forward. Here's the second. And now here is the third. So this is new. This is something you could do at the Firefly website, but now we could do it right here in Photoshop Beta. So that's a really great new feature. You got to give Photoshop Beta a try with this new Firefly Image 3 because even these photographic results look so much better than before. Now let's try something different. Let me click on this image. I have another blank canvas, and this time let's take a more artistic approach. By the way, with this latest update of Photoshop Beta, whenever you give it a blank canvas, you will get these options on your contextual taskbar, import image or generate image. But in my case, I want to generate, so we'll click generate image. And again, we get this generate image dialog box that comes up, and it's really good looking. I really like the way they laid this out. I went ahead and typed in a prompt. Steampunk, old man working with machines. I'm going to click on art. You can use a reference image when you generate an image. I'm not going to, but I'm going to click on effects. And we have all these different groups of effects. Isn't this cool? This is all brand new here in Photoshop Beta. I'm going to click on themes, and the one I want is cinematic. So I'll click that on. And then I want another one. You could put I'm pretty sure you can put as many of these in as you want. Now, it's crazy to put too many, I think, but you never know. You can experiment and have some fun. The other category I want is concepts. And in here, I'm going to use nostalgic. So I'll click on that. So you'll note here it says 2 effects. And then also note we have a category called selected. If I click on it, you can see there are my 2 effects. You could clear all right here if you need to and start again and pick different ones out. But let's go ahead and use these 2. And I'll click generate and see what we get. Now, here is my first result, and that looks pretty cool. These buttons may look a little wonky here, but hey, it's generative AI, and this stuff is improving all the time, but pretty cool. I really like this. It's a vast improvement from what we used to have on the previous update. Now, let's see the second result. Here's our second result. That one's pretty cool. And now let's click our third result. And let's say I really like this one. Now I showed you could come over here and click the ellipse and click generate similar. You can also come right here on the taskbar and click this ellipse and click generate similar. So let's do that. I'll click that and see what we get. And here are the next 3 results. Now there's some weird stuff going on here. Hey, a little remove tool can get rid of that stuff, but not bad. Here's the second result. I like that. The hands look pretty good, except this finger looks a little funky. That would need some repair. And let's click our third result. Yeah, that's nice. I like that little glow right there at the end of his finger. It's a little funky right here, but pretty good. But overall, I think I like this one the best. Now, of course, just like before, you could always click the trash can on these thumbnails and get rid of these guys if you don't want them. But let's go with this one. Now let's compare that same prompt with what we could do in Photoshop 2024. Now, here's what I got with Photoshop 2024 when I generated the prompt steampunk, old man working with machines, comma, cinematic, comma, nostalgic. So everything should be the same. Here's the first result. As you can see, the hands do not look good. The rest of the machinery looks really off. It's not that good. Here's the second result. Maybe a little better, but the glasses look really weird. The machinery, and look at the hand. What's happening with the hand here? That's really bad. Fingers look really awful. And now here is the third result. Not bad. There's some weirdness happening around his eye here. The machinery's not bad, but the hands again look like, is that a glove? I don't know. That just looks weird. But as you can see, if we compare it to Firefly Image 3 in Photoshop Beta, these results are much better. However, they're not perfect. I'm not going to kid you. But a whole lot better than what they do in Photoshop 2024. Now let's move on to something else we can do new in Photoshop Beta. This is an Adobe stock image of this really cool looking guy, but there's something new we can do now also. If you bring an image in and you have your contextual taskbar up, we can either select the subject or remove the background. Now this is really cool because I'm going to click on remove background and my background is removed, but now notice something. Now it says import background, generate background. So you can import your own background or generate an AI background. This is new. So let me click generate background. In the description field, I typed in local bar. I'll click generate and let's see what kind of result we can get. Here's the first result. You note we have some nice bokeh back here. Let's see what the second result looks like. I kind of like that one, and let's click one more time. Here's our third. You know what? I like the second. And remember, you can always click here and generate similar. Now, it will base it upon the one you've selected. But let's have some fun here. Let's do something a little bit different. I went ahead and made an object selection of the man's shirt because I want to see what he would look like in a sport coat in this bar. I think he would look really good. Now, note one thing right here. This first layer is selected. I'm going to have an issue if I try to use generative fill right now. I need to click on the top layer to make it active. Now, that's very important. And now, with the contextual taskbar, I'll click generative fill, and I'll click this button to choose a reference image. I'll click choose image, and I'm going to use this image right here of this man in a sport coat. Now, I did remove the background from this guy because I find you get better results if you give generative fill a better idea of what you want. In this case, I have a man in a sport coat, so I'm believing I selected the shirt, so it should use this reference for the sport coat. Now I just need to click on open, and now you can see the little check showing I'm using a reference image. And if you click right here, you could replace that image with something else if you click here, or I'll just click X because that's the image I want, and I'll click generate, and let's see what kind of a result we will get. Now here is that first result, and I think it looks really nice. It matches all the lighting of the image, and it resembles the coat pretty well. And now let me click the second image. Okay, there's the second image, another good-looking sport coat, and now here is the third. Okay, so it looks really nice, and I think it's a little wonky back in here, but I think I like the first one the best right there. So there you go. That is pretty cool. I really like the fact that it's easy to remove the background and replace it with generative fill right here in this new Photoshop beta update. I have one more thing to show you, and this deals with any kind of generative fill. If you generate something in your image, and it's a pretty large generation, and the resolution isn't just quite right, and it's not sharp enough, they have a new feature that will enhance those details. It's not perfect, but it really is better than what we had before, and I'll show you. I'm going to demonstrate it when we expand this image by using the crop tool. So I'm going to grab the crop tool and just expand this image a little bit like this. Now, when you're using the crop tool, make sure fill is set for generative expand. If it's not, click on it so it's active. Now, I could type something in the text field or let Photoshop figure it out by clicking generate. Let's see what we get. Now, here is our first result. So let me click the forward arrow. Here is our second result. And one more time, here is the third result. Now let's say I like the third result, but let me show you something, and this has always been an issue when expanding a crop on a large image or doing a large generative fill. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so you can see this. When I zoom into the image, you'll notice like this area right in here, the resolution is not as good as over here. This is a pretty decent sized image. This image is like 7,000 by 4,000 pixels roughly. And as you can see, it's kind of, it's not very sharp, and the resolution is not as great. Now, I don't believe this upscales the resolution. It may upscale it a little bit, but I'm not sure if it does or not. Once you've selected an image on the thumbnail, you're going to notice this little badge right here. If you click on it, it will enhance the detail of the generative fill area. So we'll give it a second or two here to see what we get. Now you can see how much sharper that area is right there. Now let me go ahead and shut that off. Here is before, and now here is after. But you see the sharpness in there. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was, and I think you ought to give this a try with the new Photoshop beta. Now, I have one more thing to show you, and that deals when you're generating an image. So let's see that now. I have another blank canvas. This time, instead of clicking Generate Image here, I'll click this button. It'll do the same thing. This dialog comes up. I'm just going to use one of these prompts that they give you. This is prompt inspiration. I forgot to tell you about this too. If you're not sure how to make a prompt or whatever, you could click on some of these different ones and read the prompt and see the result. Like, let's click on this one. Neon dog with sunglasses and a mohawk with a scarf with a heart tied to his neck. Poster print postcard. So it's very descriptive. And if we click effects, there's no effects on this whatsoever. So let's go ahead and click generate and see what kind of result we get. And I'll show you what I wanted to show you. I already showed you about the reference image, but you see this other button right here. If you click this, this opens up content type. You could change this from art to photo, so you could change things here. or you could add some effects. So we could come to any of these effects, and for instance, I can click on popular, and let's click on painting, and let's try something else. Let's go to concepts and maybe do futuristic. It's already kind of futuristic. And let's go to techniques and maybe do, how about bold lines? Let's see what we can come up with. And now I will click X just to close that. That's all that does. And now we'll click generate and see what kind of result we get with those different effects. And here we go. Now that is a cool dog. Let's try the next one. I'll click the forward. Here's the second one with the new effects added. Let's click it again. Here's the third. That one's really cool. Now if I click this again, I'll go back to the first images without any effects added. Here's the second, and here's the third. But now we get into the effects added. This one, and this one. So you can see how it changes. Now we could come here again and click this. We can click clear all three. And now we could try this all over again. Let's go to movements, and let's try cubism, and let's try effects, color explosion. And this is in our way, so click the X, that gets out of our way, and let's click generate and see what we get again. All right, there's the first one. Here is the second one. Wow, that is really a color explosion. Here's the third. So pretty cool, a beautiful color explosion. Let's look at reference image one more time. Let's click this. And I also want you to note here, when we're generating the image, you're going to get a gallery up here. You can choose your own image, or you get a whole gallery of different image styles that you can try. Let's try one style, and then we will be done. So it's going to take our prompt, and it's going to use one of these images as a reference. Let's use this one just for the heck of it, okay? I'll click the X to get this out of the way, click generate, and see if our minds will be blown. Now here's the first result. It's using effects as well as a reference image. Here's the second image. Okay, pretty cool. And here's the third. So again, you can work with effects, and you can couple that up with a reference image from the gallery or one of your own. Well, there you go. We have Firefly Image 3 inside of Photoshop Beta, the latest update. You can make things like this really cool dog here, but I hope you give it a try. It's a lot of fun. And let me know what you think about this new update for Photoshop Beta. Especially, I just focused on the Firefly Image 3 part. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Well, there it is, everyone. I hope you enjoyed my video today. Give Photoshop Beta a try out. Now, whether you're a photographer or you're into the creative side of things, this new update for Photoshop Beta, which hopefully will soon come to the regular Photoshop, is something you need to try out. And I think it's really good. I really enjoy working with this. So, Firefly Image 3 is now in Photoshop Beta. If you enjoyed today's tutorial, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and if you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe. Click that bell notification icon. Click all so that you receive all notifications, and then every time I upload a new tutorial, you'll get notified about it. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today in The Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly, and I will see you all right here next time. But until then, happy editing.